still a bit ghosty. That's probably good. Still a bit ghosty. Maybe not. Try that. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's better. That is good. That is good. Let me just turn this over here. There we go. That's so much better. It was looking a bit ghosty. It was looking a bit weird then for a second. I'm just going to go and close that curtain over there because it's looking like that light's coming through quite a bit. Get that over. There we go. That's a bit better. I still need to find an ideal setup for this room because it's still not the best, but still, we move. So we've got PvP in. Hi there. If you are watching, say hi in the chat. PvP says first. Yeah, you were first. I'm here today as got today and Friday off. 4-day weekend. Well, that's good because it means obviously you were struggling with work. You were kind of feeling as if you needed some time off, so that's good that you managed to get some time off this weekend. I would say the best thing to do is just literally relax, just like relax for a few days, because it sounded like the other week when we were talking about it, you definitely need to have a relax and stuff. Episode 250, I feel fortunate to attend. And no, this is the weirdest thing, right? So I literally came to set up the live stream at like 6:25 because today's been all over the place. I've been doing this, that, and the other, trying to catch up on yesterday because yesterday I wasn't as productive. So I was doing all these things, and I also went round to see my friend, and I came to set up the live stream, and I thought, oh my god, it's episode 250. What the hell? I didn't even realize. I didn't even clock on to the fact that last week it was episode 249. And I didn't even think that, next week's episode 250, we'll have to do something special. I'll have to plan something, or I don't even know, like whatever would, whatever I could plan. Maybe get a guest on or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I totally just didn't even think about that. And what I will do though, one of these weeks, before I go back to university and stuff, and even maybe when I'm at university, what I might do is think about getting some guests on, spice it up a little bit. Obviously, I won't be on OBS. What I'll do is I'll possibly do that through Stream. Was it StreamYard? I think it was StreamYard, the service that I used to use and that everyone else used to use. I don't know about what the plans are looking like on there anymore. I don't know whether you can do it free anymore. I would assume you can still do it for free for a few hours of streaming a month, so I should be alright, should be able to get away with it. But if I can't, I can always find a different platform, and then I'll be able to have some guests on and stuff, and that'll be good. So what I'll do is I'll set that up for 1 week over the next coming weeks, get someone on, a reseller or something like that. I'm sure I can quite easily contact one of them and they'd pop on for an hour or so, and yeah, we'll do that 1 week, and that'll be our kind of like little I suppose belated celebrations for episode 250, which I have just not done this week. But yeah, lots going on. There's been lots going on this week. Lots to talk about as well. What's that? That bloody chat's just gone weird then. I don't know what that was. Anyway, some sort of pop-up thing. But yeah, lots going on. Lots to talk about. If you've got any questions, anything in the chat, then whack that in. I've been doing a lot on Lego this week. I've actually recorded a couple of videos today on Lego investing, hence why that's part of the title as well. And we'll possibly talk about that a little bit today. But yeah, just crazy things going on as normal. It's weirdly, summer shouldn't be the busiest time for me in particular because of university, but it just is. It's one of those weird times. And also, I'm going to get the chat on the other tab because I like the look of it on the other tab better. That's good. Right, okay, cool. And I don't need to... 1 second. Let me just mute this, because I know I'll press something and then it'll blur out at me. So yeah, where was it? Back here. So yeah, it's very, very weird that it is busy when particularly it necessarily shouldn't be as busy this sort of time. PvP says, also, by the way, I don't think I read out the other messages from PvP. Didn't you let folks know it was episode 250? Yeah, well, that explains that I didn't even realize it was episode 250. As I say, I would have like promoted it. I would have got a guest in. I would have done something like that. And God, no, I just didn't even have a clue. Yes, Adz, I'm glad to get 4 days to relax. Got to get some time. You got to get some eBay stuff done. Okay. My job has been stressful lately. Had a good week meeting. Oh, I thought that was a good weekly meeting or something then. Had a good week meeting minimum targets, which is why I got the days off. Oh, that's alright, and that's not too bad. But yeah, as I say, yeah, like PvP says there, if you are watching, whack something in the chat, say hi, and I will shout you out, of course. But yeah, so crazy week. There's going to be some Lego investing videos coming as well over probably the next couple of weeks, something like that. I've really, really enjoyed actually being involved with Lego investing a little bit more over the past couple of weeks. Actually buying the sets, researching the sets online, going on Brickset, going on eBay, going on Amazon, all that sort of stuff, and just like really enjoying the process of Lego investing. It's been incredible, and I've really enjoyed doing the Lego investing videos today, despite having a bit of trouble with my new lights and all the rest of it. But I've really enjoyed doing them, and I've got another haul to record as well. So if you enjoy the Lego investing videos, there will be some more Lego investing videos on the channel. I know a lot of people enjoy them. The last Lego investing video did really well, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or something. And as I said, I did really want to, over summer, get back to, on the channel, the eBay and the, like, kind of investing content, more so than the other content, because it's the time to do it. There's not going to be this sort of stuff, this kind of time available to me, and also this sort of content that I'm doing over kind of a period of September, October, November, into next year as well. At Christmas time I can do bits and bobs, but I can't do it to the extent I can over summer. So yeah, that's like, it's got to be the prime thing really to do for me to be able to actually do that. PvP says, have you been buying Lego online or locally? Haven't watched the new vids yet. There is one new video up. Well, I say new, it's like, I don't know, it's been up a week or a week and a half or something now. But yeah, the way I'm sourcing Lego is kind of all over the shop really. So I source from supermarkets, and I've got a bit from supermarkets. I've also got online. I buy a lot from, and as you'll see in the haul videos as well, I buy a lot from Lego Shop at Home, because that's a really just a good place to go to kind of get whatever sets you need. And the fact is, when you're getting your free gift, especially at like the moment, the free gifts have been okay. We've got the sort of Adidas trainer at the moment, which seems like a good free gift, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second actually, in kind of investing terms and stuff. And I still need to do a bit more research into it, because I'm still not 100% sure on quite how that's going to do, but I do have some intuitions on it that make me think, well, that set is going to be quite interesting in the future. But yeah, we've had that Adidas trainer. We've also had that Fairground set, which was like 152 pieces or something for a free set. So that's a really substantial free set. It's not like we're just getting a poly bag for, I don't know, 25 pieces or 40 pieces or whatever. 152 piece set for a free set is good, and that's going to equate to some good value. For example, when you're buying Lego and you're getting that free set, you're going to be able to sell that, whether immediately or in the future, for some good value. And of course, that's going to act as kind of a discount for you. So I really enjoy, and I would kind of say to people, like, look at Lego Shop at Home, buy off there if you can, if you feel like there's a good free set. If you're using your cashback, for example, like Top Cashback or Honey or anything like that, you get your VIP points on top of that as well, with if you're a Lego VIP, which is a free thing to do anyway. It's nothing, you don't have to pay for it or anything like that. So being able to do that, like all those different ways of getting a discount, shall we say, on the sets, is, it really adds up, and you can make quite a good bit of money sort of long term simply from buying from Lego Shop at Home. It's really, I think, like, obviously so many people do it, but yet it's not really talked about or touched upon that much. Like, everyone talks about, oh, well, go to Sainsbury's, go to Argos, go to here, go to there, get things on, like, an incredible discount. Like, if you can, try and get things 30, 40, 50% off. But the thing is, it's, that's brilliant, and you can do that, and I do that as well, and that is definitely a big part of what I do with my Lego investing. But also, there's ways and means of going about it where you buy off Lego Shop at Home, and you can actually get, like, a really good discount, even if you're buying sets at retail price, because of the fact you're getting a free set with it if you spend, like, over 65 quid or over 85 quid or whatever. And as I say, the cashback options that you've got as well, it ends up working out that you're getting a discount on the sets at like 30% anyway. So you can really do quite well long term. And it's something definitely to think about, because it allows you to kind of just buy sets so much easier as well. I mean, literally, you can go on Lego Shop at Home and the sets are there, and you can just go, oh, right, actually, I quite like the look of that one. Right, I'll go on eBay, I'll go on Amazon, check the prices. Are they selling for above retail price? Are they doing okay even now, even when they're on Lego Shop at Home? Are they doing okay? And if they're selling slightly above retail price, even though someone can get it on Lego Shop at Home for retail price, then that's an indication that, of course, the set might do well in the long-term market, in the secondary market, because obviously, if people are prepared to pay over the retail price, even when they can get it for retail price elsewhere, then likely when that retail price is gone and they can't get it for retail elsewhere, the price is going to go up further on eBay or Amazon. And so, I mean, it's brilliant. You can literally just shop on there, and you can go on Brickset, and you can go on Brickpicker, these kind of sites, and you can look at sort of the set information, when it was available for sale on Lego Shop at Home. Is it going to retire soon? Judging by the fact of how long it's been on Lego Shop at Home, you might see on Brickset, oh, well, it became available on Lego Shop at Home in January 2020. Well, you can expect, especially, let's say, if it's something like a Star Wars Battle Pack or something like that, then it might retire in the next 6 months. And so if it's going to retire in the next 6 months, you've got a bit of an eye in there. You've got a bit of an opener, because you think, well, okay, so it's selling for slightly above retail on eBay and Amazon. That's a good sign. And also, let's say I can get it for a discount at Lego Shop at Home by the fact I'm getting a free gift, and I'm using my cashback, and maybe I'm using my Honey as well. I'm getting some Honey Gold, and I'm getting my VIP points. So that's good. And also the fact that maybe certain things have done better in the past. For example, battle packs similar to that have done quite well in the past. And there's all these kind of little things, and some of them of which I forget, because there's so many different kind of little pinpointers, little indicators to you that these sets can do well in the long term. And then you can tick them off as if you're ticking off a list of things, a list of kind of requirements. And you tick them off, and you tick them off, and you tick them off, and you think, well, it's selling for above retail on Amazon, selling for above retail on eBay, it's going to retire soon, I'm getting all these discounts with it, oh, I might pull the trigger on this thing, I might think about this, I might really, think about buying this seriously. And then you buy it and you wait and you see, because the fact is, it's like it's this weird thing with Lego investing. It's very speculative. I say in one of these videos that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, it's very speculative. You can't kind of just pin it down. You can't think to yourself, oh yeah, well that set's going to do brilliant, oh it's brilliant, that set's going to go for a load of money or whatever. It's not like that. It just isn't the case. You really don't know. You only can have an intuition based on your past experience, based on the past experience of that theme as well. So it's one of those things. Antoinette's in the chat. Hi there, Antoinette. Evening. In its Flip It, Susie is in the chat. Hi there, Susie. Listening while running errands. I hope all is well, Adz. It is. Hope all is well with you as well, Susie. I don't know how you pronounce that. It looks like a Welsh name or something. Erdael. You know me with names, I can't pronounce that. Adz, you got me into Lego investing years ago. My last purchase was 40 Speed Champions Porsche, 50 F40, 20 Cena is that. Stock market, best thing I've ever done. Changed my life. Wow, that's brilliant. I would say that the Speed Champions are a good investment. I've always done well in the Speed Champions, and I refer to that in the Lego investing video as well that's going to come out. I say, a big portion of my holdings back when I was back when we're talking maybe about, I was doing it when it was 2017, something like that, when I'd been doing it for a year or two. Back then, a large portion of my sets were Speed Champions, like 75% or so, if not more. The only thing I would say is invest, diversify, because that's always been my weakness. And it's not a problem that you've bought 40 Speed Champions Porsche or 20 F40 or anything, because most likely those sets are going to do brilliantly. They will do good. But I notice in myself and in my own portfolio, when I look at it, and when I look at it in hindsight as well, that it only takes one of those Speed Champion sets or a couple of those Speed Champion sets just to flop and not do that well. And then, your portfolio is like, oh God, I don't know about it. I was very risky. I was very lucky that with what I did. I was very risky, really, because I bought so many of the Speed Champions, and it was I got 10 and 15 of this car, and then I got 10 and 15 of this car, and then I got 5 of this car, and I got 2 of these bigger Speed Champion sets. And you see in the old videos that most of the stuff I was buying was Speed Champions, and it can become risky because it's speculative, but Speed Champions is a great theme, so it's kind of there's not too much concern there. There's not too much concern there with it. Lucy's in. Hi there, Lucy. Nice to see you in the chat. I know you said that you might not be able to make it most weeks because you live stream yourself, but yeah, lovely to see you in the chat anyway. I did that with Harry Potter Lego when it came out. Yeah, the Harry Potter stuff has been okay. The early Harry Potter stuff, I don't know what, you have to excuse me because I don't know what year it was. It might have been 2010 or something like 2011. We're going back. We are going back. That early stuff, I think it was in the red boxes anyway. And I think there might have even been earlier stuff than that actually, but I'm not 100% certain. But that stuff did brilliantly. And the closer and closer we get to the modern day, the more I and ah about the Harry Potter stuff. Although saying that, I do think there's certain sets, even now with Harry Potter, that you can pick up and you can do phenomenal on. Like, you can do really well on. But it's a hard one for me, Harry Potter, because I just don't know which ones to go for. I've not done, like, it's not a theme that I've done incredible research in. You would have thought I would have done, because Harry Potter, I love Harry Potter. It's a great movie series and everything, and the books and all the rest of it. It's my era, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, in terms of Lego, I've not really done like tons of research into it. The one thing I did do though, that I knew would do well, soon as it came out, I was like, I've got to buy a few of these, was maybe a couple of years ago now, not this Christmas, last Christmas, something like that anyway, there was the Lego Harry Potter Advent Calendar, and they came out and I thought, oh my god, these are gonna do brilliant. And I think they've done alright. Obviously it's June, July, so you can't really see on eBay how well they've done, because I have to wait till Christmas until the prices go up a bit more. I could obviously use some sort of past price history, a checker, a website or whatever, quite easily to go back and see the price history from last Christmas, see what we did, and that's something I might actually consider doing since I've still got these sets. But yeah, certainly this Christmas we'll see what we do, and I'll probably sell a few of them this Christmas, because I've probably held on to them for 2 years now, and that's kind of like my, it's getting to my upper limit. I like to clear the sets between 18 months and 2 years, 18 months and, sort of 2.5 years being sort of maximum 2.5 years. That seems to be a nice sweet spot for me. It always has been. Sometimes I've cleared things at 12 months if they've done really well, if they've just gone up in value like really, really quickly. But generally I find like that 18 months, 24 months, that's really good. That's a nice sweet spot for a lot of sets. But yeah, so that's one that I knew. With the Harry Potter, I knew that was something. And with regards to other sets, looking back, I could have bought some. There was a Harry Potter set, I think it was like Aragorn's Lair or whatever the big spider's called. I forget its name exactly. And it was it's kind of like a battle pack, really. It's kind of like the Star Wars battle packs, really, but in Harry Potter. And although it didn't have 4, like, sort of standard minifigures or anything, it had, like, Harry Potter and Ron and then this spider and stuff. I don't think it had any other minifigures in there. But I think just recently I checked on eBay and it had gone up. And actually, let's just check now. What's the point in... Oh, I don't know the set number. Let me get the set number on my phone, because otherwise my computer's running slow as it is because I've got a billion tabs open. Lego Harry Potter. Because I think I should have bought this set, and I was umming and ahhing for ages on this little battle pack thing. And Aragog's Lair. That's it. Yeah. Oh, God, look at that. Oh, no, I so should have bought that set. Oh, God, I am definitely looking into Harry Potter. God damn it. That is nasty. When you see something like that and you're like, oh, I saw that set in Sainsbury's. I knew I could have bought a few of them. Gee, and you'd see it and you're like, oh. Let me check, because I only checked on shopping then, but what I saw on shopping was very, very good. So, one for 24 quid, one for 35 quid, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if you got out on a discount, it's probably retail $11.99, probably $12.99 these days. But if you got out on a discount for 8 quid, 9 quid, something like that, maybe even a tenner, you're not looking bad. And it's not been that long, to be honest, since it retired, I don't think. Sold items. Have I gone on by it now? So I got one sold for 20 quid plus post, one sold for 28, one sold for 20, one sold for 25, one sold for 23, one sold for 22 plus post, one sold for 20 plus post, one sold for 28, oh, one sold for 30, one sold for 30. Oh, no, man, no. And I think I just mentioned, but I am on eBay, by the way, at the moment. 28, oh, killer, man. You see what I mean? So some of the Harry Potter sets are decent, but I just get a bit wary of them, because, you know why I get wary of them? Because they're producing so many of them. There's a lot of Lego Harry Potter sets they're producing, and I worry about the quantity that they're producing in terms of all the different sets that they're doing. They feel like they're kind of doing quite a lot of them, but it doesn't seem to be affecting it too much, so that's not bad. But yeah, I'm gonna check on Brickset. Let me check on Brickset what they're doing. 75590, I think it was. No, not 590. 75759. Let me check. 75995. Never remember numbers, me. 2018, it came out, did it? Was that? I guess that's the coming out time, yeah. And it retired. Oh no, it retired in 2019. Okay, God, it seems like it wasn't that long ago. That's 2 years ago it retired now. Bloody hell. It doesn't seem that long ago. I thought it retired last year. I thought it retired like the end of last year, but no, on Brickset it's saying it retired 1.5 years, 18 months ago it retired. So, yeah, I mean, that is pretty good for 18 months, you know. I mean, if you could get $27.99, which I've seen on eBay there a few times, if you get $27.99 and you got it for £9, that's 3 times your money in 18 months. You know, anyone's going to take that. So, yeah, I should have got that one. Bloody hell, I saw loads of them. Kills me, that does. Kills me. Oh, look at that. Bloody hell, yeah. I got 10 of the spider one for £5. Wow, that's brilliant. Yeah, I know, right? PvP, I know. I missed out like crazy. Let me just check up the chat. I've missed a few bits. Adz, how many Lego sets do you have stockpiled? I don't know. I've not done like a stock check. I need to do a stock check at some point. It's not a lot. Because before university, I don't think it was right before university, but like maybe 6 months before university. Yeah, it was like 6 months before uni, because I think it was in that December before uni. I cleared like loads. I'm talking loads. I had a lot of sets, and I just cleared loads of them. And then I started buying a few more, and then during the entire year of uni, I bought 2 or 3 sets. That was it for the entire year of uni. Because obviously I didn't have the money or anything. I couldn't really buy any. And then recently I've just spent like... Well, I say in the whole video I spent 500 to 600. I haven't. I've actually spent about closer to 800 on Lego in the past 4 weeks. So, yeah, you know, I've dropped a bit of money on Lego. And so that's obviously meaning that I've got more sets again now. But I already had quite a few, because I had built it up from between that December and just before I went to uni. I had bought a bit more, partially from reinvesting my profits and partially from a bit of the money that I was kind of, you know, when I was descaling the business, I put a little bit of money into Lego then, even though I probably shouldn't have done because I needed the money for university. But you know what I'm like? I'm a bloody crazy guy who lives on the edge of financial ruin. But no, so yeah, I did that, and so I did build up a few. But I mean, in the whole video, you can see most of them behind me. I've got a big row, and then I've got some in boxes, and I've got some on another shelf as well. And that literally is it. You know, I've definitely got less than 100 sets. I might even have less than 50 sets. I might even have less than 50 sets. Although I would say with the stuff that I've got 3 more boxes of Lego to arrive. So I would probably say after that I'll have over 50 sets for sure. And that's a mix of values and ranges. Probably the most valuable set I've got is maybe 90 quid, 100 quid. There's a few kind of 50 quid sets in there, and then there's a lot of kind of battle pack sets in there, and there's a lot of sort of the 20, 25, 30 pound sets in there as well. But for sure, I've not got that crazy amount or anything like that. In terms of value, maybe about $2,000 in like terms of cost to me, not necessarily value as in what I could sell them for, but cost to me probably that probably would be more sales. Yeah, no, it would be more than that $2,000. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I'm talking about partial sales value, partial cost to me, but yeah, forget that number. It's messed up, that number. Yeah, maybe more sales value, like 3-4K or something like that, and then cost to me, God knows how much that would be. God knows how much that would be, but yeah, around that anyway. But as I say, I've not done a stock check, so I'm gonna have to go through, double check, and then I'd tell you for certain. I'd be able to pin an exact number, and I'd be able to say that's exactly what it is, all the rest of it. But no, not huge amounts of money. It's not like bloody 10 grand or 15, 20 grand or anything like that. Nothing like that. So, but yeah, my Lego investing is my third smallest investment. So I have my crypto, my stocks, Lego investing, banknotes. That's how it goes. Crypto's my biggest, stocks my second biggest, Lego is my third biggest, and banknotes is my fourth, which I have like 300 quid in banknotes. So you can hardly even call it an investment, to be honest. But still. Power Reselling's in. Hi there, Power Reselling. How are you doing? That's Corey. Nice to see you in the chat anyway. No worries, Adz wasn't streaming tonight. Oh, that's nice of you to pop in anyway, Lucy. Thanks for popping in. What else is in here? Harry Potter has been going on for too long over COVID. A few sets that retire early will do well, but most are prolonged now. You see, that's my idea as well, so I'm glad that you've said that, actually, because, yeah, that was what I was thinking. But as I say, I don't really invest too much in Harry Potter for that reason, because I was thinking that. Yeah, it's a bit of a hard one. It is a bit of a hard one, but I still think there is gems in there. I still think, as you said there, like, there's a few sets that might do well, and I think that that's correct, but it's trying to find those sets. How do you find those sets? That is hard to pinpoint those sets. It's like, it's probably not as hard as finding a needle in a haystack, but it's hard, it's a challenge. But then saying that, I always like a challenge, so it might be worth going on Lego Shop at home and trying to work it out, Oh, I've got 2 left for sale. Well, you've cleaned up on them, I tell you, 5 quid into 30 quid. Where did you, well, you might not want to say, but where did you get those, if you do want to say, for 5 quid? Because I was like, bloody hell, you can never get battle packs, like, the sets that go for 13 quid, you can hardly ever get them for 5 quid. I go into Sainsbury's and Tesco and the Entertainer and places like that, and I can never get these things for like 5 quid anymore. They're just like 60% discount is like just gone for me. It just very, very rarely happens. I can get, maybe 40% if I'm lucky. I'll say, if I'm lucky, I'll get 40%. I just got practically 40% on a few sets the other day. Sets that sort of retail at 13 quid, and you're getting like 7 quid, 7.50, that sort of price, and so it's probably like 35-40%, and even that's hard. Even getting that sort of stuff is hard. So I'd be interested to know like how you got that. But that might have been through coupons. You don't know. That might have been through vouchers and stuff. There's other ways to get it. There's other ways to get good discounts. It's not just necessarily just trying to. Asda. Wow, nice. I didn't. You see, every time I've got the only thing is though, when I go into Asda, my Asda's crap. Like I'd have to go to another. I need to go to other supermarkets because my Asda's really bad for Lego. Sainsbury's, my local Sainsbury's is okay. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's not poor, but it's not brilliant. But my Asda, there's just not even a range of Lego in there, so I need to go to other places. But I am planning on going Altrincham next week potentially to see a friend, but well, as a kind of dual purpose, to see a friend, but also to go to the charity shops and the supermarket and stuff there as well. So yeah, if I do that, then I will definitely have a look around places there as well, because it's all about just a numbers game, just going around like as many supermarkets as possible and just clearing these things up, you know. Every store is different, mate. So if one store can't sell any, they clear the space for the next. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think like it's very true when like new lines come into stores. For example, you have like, you know, spring is just going out of fashion or whatever, and then summer things are coming in. And so in the interim, we kind of think, well, you know, we've got to get this new stuff in, so put all these things on clearance. And what I have seen actually every now and then is what'll happen is they'll move it to a well, no, what'll happen actually is they'll keep it in the same place and they'll like reduce it, you know, and they'll say, well, it's 20% off or something like that. And then if you're lucky and no one's kind of bought it at that price, because sometimes like the investors or resellers or whoever, or even just like families, will come in and buy them up at that price anyway, and then they're gone. But if you're lucky and people don't buy them up at that price, then we might go to another clearance area, which is like a mishmash clearance area in a supermarket where for the toys, you know, and you've got all sorts of different things on clearance in there, reduced to clearance stuff. And that's like the better clearance, and then we might reduce it by like 40 or 50%. But I find it's so hard even to find the Lego sets in that aisle, because, as I say, so many people just buy them up when they're 20% off, and then they never get to that sort of 40%, 50%. But as I say, I think for me, it's a point of a lot of the supermarkets around me aren't that great. So if I want those deals, I have to go to the bigger supermarkets. It's as simple as that. So that's why, like, in Altrincham, there is a bigger supermarket. So, you know, if I'm lucky when I go there, then I can get those deals. If I'm not lucky, I don't get the deals. But also, you know, online you can get some good deals. Online there's definitely places where you can kind of scout out these deals and be able to actually get some good sets for decent prices, you know, for like 40% off or so. So it's not too bad. I have enough points on my Lego account to get about 5 free trips to Legoland. How much is that then in points? Not in value or anything, but how many points is that? Is that like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 or something? Because that must be quite a lot. I want to see what the trip to Legoland is. I've literally got Lego up on another tab anyway. I always have it up on another tab. So let me check for this. I've just used my VIP points actually to buy a set that I've wanted for quite a while. To invest in, obviously, not necessarily to build, but it's just a set I really like. So I wanted to buy it, and where am I going here? Reward Center, that's what it's called now. But you know, we restructured the VIP points, didn't we? Not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. I think about a year ago. So it's not. You'll notice that it's not quite as good anymore. That you don't get quite as many points for certain sets, and also they're doing this kind of system where you have to redeem it at a certain set amount of points, which makes it a little bit better for them and worse for you in terms of what you can redeem. You know, but it's still good. You know, to be fair to Lego, it's still brilliant. It's a brilliant point system. Oh, I don't think I can actually. Oh, I don't know. Oh, tickets to Legoland. Okay, let me learn more here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see this here. Oh no, I can't. Buy tickets for a fantastic day in the Lego house. That's 2,500. But that's not the Lego. Maybe you've said it in the chat. One sec, I'll go. Just want to check down here, see if it's down here or any. Ah, here we go. Legoland 1 park ticket. 4,000 points, okay. You know what? That's not that bad. 4,000 points isn't that bad, really. Well, actually, saying that, what is that? That's like, no, actually, that, oh, yeah. That is actually 400 quid. I was thinking that that's less than it is, but that is like 400 quid in it, so maybe it's not so good, but still. Let me check. Oh, it's jumped a bit. Oh, hi there, buying space. Oh, I don't know. He's not put it in actually, but yeah, it should be 20,000 points if you've got enough for 5. But that is a lot of points because that's in value. That's about not 75 quid, about 120 quid. I want to say about 120 quid in value. So you could get like a Lego set for 120 quid for free if you had that amount of points. So that's really good. I think Lego points are crap. Everyone's like 2 times points, but you have to spend so much. Just use cashback sites. What I do is I use the cashback sites and I do the VIP points. But I would actually say the VIP points aren't that bad because like a lot of point systems are really bad. Like Nectar is terrible. It's not, what do you get? It's 0.5 pence per point and you get 1 point per pound. And you get 100 points per £100. That's what? Is that a fiver every £100? Or is that 50p? I don't know. Or is it? No, it's like 250, is it? 1 sec. 0.5 pence. Or is it 1 pence per? No, I think it is actually 0.5 pence a point, innit? So that's 0.5 pence. Times by £1, 5 pence. What's that? Times by. Yeah, does that work out? Is that right then? Does that work out at 50 pence if you spend 100 quid? Surely that can't be right. That can't be right though. But I know Nectar points are crap. And they're worse than Lego points for sure, and they're way worse than Boots points. God, Boots points are like oh no, Boots points are well good, but Nectar points are like really bad. But well, Boots points were good. I don't know whether they've changed, but it used to be like. Let me check Boots points. Was it 4 pence per pound you get back or something like that? Which is way better than Nectar if you get 0.5 pence for points. Boots points. Get 4 advantage points per every pound you spend. So you're getting like 4 pence back. So that's £4 every £100. That's not bad. That's practically in line with Lego points. Because if you think you're getting 4% cash back there, that's 4% cash back. That's bloody good. That's actually pretty good, you know. Right, and let's go back onto this. Yeah, I might have 100 quid on my Nectar when I'm I know, like, I've got £7.50 on my Nectar. God, I must have spent like, I don't even know. I could work it out. I'm not gonna work it out, but I have spent a lot. I've spent a lot, you know. It's just crazy. You should have on Lego Man of the Midwest. His name is Brandon. Is that a channel? I'll type it in. I don't really know him. I'd have to get to know him a bit first. Because I like to get to know people like before I just go on a live stream with them. Because it can sometimes be a bit awkward. You can be on the live stream and you're like, you don't know them. And you're trying to feel each other out while you're on the live stream. It's a bit weird. So I'd have to get to know him a bit and then be like, oh, you know, do you want to come on a live stream and stuff? Oh yeah, he's a channel. He's got a channel. Cool. I'll see if he's on Instagram and stuff. We'll see. I've got 33, but I use it for... Yeah, I use it for... So I have it integrated with my eBay, integrated with Argos, and that's about it. If anyone knows anywhere else, right, I can integrate my Nectar points so that then when I buy things off a site, I earn them and collect them, then let me know, because I want to utilize as many of these sites as possible so that I can get Nectar points back. But currently all I've got is eBay and Argos, and they're the two. I mean, I do buy quite a lot off eBay, so of course I do end up accumulating some Nectar points. But as I say, I mean, if you're getting bloody a pound or so, or whatever it is per 100 quid. You know, it's hardly anything. You have to spend like 500 quid just to get a small amount back. Yeah, it is really, really bad. But I don't even know whether they do like double points. I don't think they do. I think they just do, you know, like when you can get offers in, can't you, for Sainsbury's or wherever. I don't really go to Sainsbury's that much, so it wouldn't really affect me that much. But I think you can get offers in for Sainsbury's, and then you get more points on certain items each week. You know, let's say 1 week you get 100 points for buying some milk or whatever it is, whereas, you know, normally you'd only get X amount of points for buying milk, maybe like 50 points or whatever. So yeah, I think there's that. But yeah, you know, it is an annoying thing. I remember they had triple points for August. Oh, right, that's good. You see, because when you're getting up to the triple points with Nectar, at least it's something. Like with the normal amount that you get, the normal amount of points, it's nothing. You just don't get anything. But with the triple points, at least you're getting something. You know, it's not like it's nothing. Oh Lord, Matt. Oh, hi there, Tommy. How are you doing? I hope you're alright. It's nice to see you in the chat anyway. Yeah, we're just having a chat about Lego investing tonight, and Lego and point systems and rewards and what rewards we get back on different cashback and all the rest of it. It's quite interesting, actually. Do you do any rewards things, Tommy? I would imagine, and I think I've heard you say it before, that you do a lot of like the reward stuff, trying to get money back and all the rest of it. But yeah, it is quite interesting, actually. I was going to say something then, but I completely forgot. Just gone out of my mind. PvP says, so how do you find Lego deals on eBay ads? Well, I generally just do, or I'm not going to tell you like the ins and outs of it, because obviously I wouldn't want to tell you my searches or anything like that, like my saved searches and stuff, because some of the saved searches I've found out about over the years are actually really good, and you know, I managed to be able to, you know, if I'm astute enough and I spend a bit of time on there, I can actually pick out some good bits and bobs. I don't sink the time into it anymore though, because the thing with like the saved searches on eBay, you have to like sink the time into it. You have to be on it quite a lot. You have to have them alerts on your phone, and you have to be looking on your computer a lot and all the rest of it, and I just don't really have the time to do that, so I don't really buy that much off eBay. But when I do, yeah, it will be like auctions, or it'll be you know, sort of sniping, you know, sniping in air quotes, not really sniping, but partially sniping, buy it now listings and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, it's kind of mainly auctions and things like that. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't really do. I don't really do that often. And the problem I've found with eBay over the years, because I've been doing this a while, and you get to know the ins and outs of what happens, you have to rely on the private sellers, and you have to rely on them boxing things up in a good, safe manner. If you, like, for example, someone literally packages something up in a bloody bag or something like that. They wrap it up, they tape it up, and then send it out, and the box gets crushed like crazy, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, for God's sake, I've got to return this. I've got to, you know, confront that guy and say, look, you know, I'm not happy with this. Why did you bloody send it out in this packaging, all the rest of it? It's been crushed, and it's just another nuisance, because I'd rather just not do that, you know. I'd rather be dedicating my time to something else, and be able to do something else, rather than trying to pick up the mess of other people's problems who aren't that conscientious, for example. And I'm not denying that sometimes I'm not as conscientious as I could be, but I'd never, ever, ever send something out in a bloody plastic bag or anything like that, you know. So you know, it's just one of those things. So you're always bloody having to deal with that, and that's, you know, I just don't want to deal with that. So that's one of the things with eBay, is you've got to deal with that. You have to deal with that if that's going to be the case, if you're going to go down that route. Now, yeah, maybe about 70, 80, maybe even 90% of the time, or maybe even more if you're lucky, you're going to get the sets and they're going to be fine. But you will notice that actually it's more often than you think that the sets are going to get damaged in transit from someone not packaging them that well. Even if they do package them in a box, it's a flimsy box, or they've not put any bloody packing materials in the box, any void fill to pad it out. So it's like, it's just one of them. You're better off buying from Amazon and selling on eBay rather than buying from eBay. Well, you see, that's not been my experience, because I've always done it the opposite way around. I did it from eBay to Amazon, but bear in mind, I was doing Amazon FBA, and the prices on Amazon FBA normally inflated compared to merchant fulfilled. So when you're buying something off eBay, you might pay 20 quid for a set or something. On Amazon FBA, it's going, no joke, for like 60 quid or something, 50 or 60 quid. And you think, well, how does that even work? But yeah, it does, and they're on eBay. And it always baffles me why people pay that much on Amazon FBA. Why is there such, or can there be, and certainly there once was, maybe not as much anymore. I think the discrepancy is possibly closing a little bit more on certain items. But why was there that discrepancy there? I mean, maybe like 1 day delivery, maybe the convenience of Amazon FBA, for sure, but it still seems like there's a huge discrepancy. But with regards to buying from Amazon to eBay, I could see how you could do it, and I noticed you put in the chat about deals. I didn't see the full message or anything. I literally just saw the word deals, Amazon deals. I could see how you could use Amazon deals for selling on eBay quite easily and making good money, because you can get like good lightning deals on Amazon, and you get a good lightning deal and you buy some of them, and you could flip on eBay all day long. A case in point of this, actually, I got a lightning deal not long ago, literally about a week ago, or even less than a week ago, for my new lights that I was setting up. And I realised, and I thought to myself, hang on, I'm getting these lights pretty cheap here. I could actually sell, like literally I could sell one of these and get practically all my money back. And I got two of the lights. I could sell one of these and get practically all the money back that I got for one. That I got for, is that right? Am I getting that right? I've confused myself here. But I could sell the one light and get all the money back that I've paid for both. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, you could even do it here. It's not necessarily in Lego, it's not necessarily in just, the toy arena or anything like that. But with the Amazon Lightning deals, you can find items, and it validated it even more so, that experience, for me to be able to buy them on there and then flip them on eBay quite easily. So yeah, there definitely is a market for it. It's just something in particular that I've not really explored so much, because I was always the reverse way. And that would be definitely something to think about as well. I mean, I don't currently do Amazon or anything like that, so I'd obviously have to log into the account and see where I'm at with that, because my worry is that my account is maybe partially restricted for certain things, because they restrict off and they gate so many different categories all the time. And I was unrestricted for Lego. I was what would be called grandfathered into the category, because I had been selling on Amazon for a while, and I'd been selling a lot of Lego on Amazon. And while everyone else was gated off for toys and for Lego, or for certain toys or whatever, I wasn't. I could still sell Lego. But nowadays, because I've not sold on there for a good while, I'm kind of worried whether I'm able to sell Lego on there or not. And so that would be a deal breaker for me if I wasn't able to. I mean, I could still sell it on Merchant Fulfilled, but, Amazon FBA, you're getting those better prices. And if I'm selling it on Merchant Fulfilled, I probably may as well just sell it on eBay, with a lot of the prices kind of being similar. Although I would assume in some cases that the price is a little bit better on Amazon, even Merchant Fulfilled. But yeah, so if I could sell an FBA there, if I log into my account and get that tracked down. That's something probably to do more at Christmas. Well, I'll probably log into my account way before Christmas, see what I'm looking like, see what my account's looking like, all the rest of it. Then, when I come to sell some Lego, think about going that route. But yeah, it's a brilliant platform, Amazon. And it's one of those platforms that, if you know what you're doing, whether you're buying off there to sell on eBay, or whether you're buying on eBay to sell on Amazon, or whether you're buying from Car Boots to sell on Amazon, or whatever it is you're particularly doing, there's fantastic money to be made on Amazon, and it's so easy. I mean, with Amazon FBA, it is so easy. I mean, in certain situations, it's almost like a license to print money. You know, I mean, if you have the same SKU, if you have 50 of one set and you put them in a box, you label them up, you don't even have to label them up yourself. You can pay Amazon to do it. I wouldn't suggest paying Amazon to do it. Why not just invest the time? It's not much time. Invest the time, save yourself whatever the price is per label these days. It used to be like 20 cents or 20 pence. It might be more like 30 or 40 pence these days. It's probably gone up. And save yourself that, because that works out at 10 or 15 quid you're saving yourself. Unless you really just can't be bothered and you'd rather have the time. But either way, label them up, ship them off, and then Amazon does all the shipping and all the rest of it for you. Yes, okay, it can be, it is a business. It is hard work. Sometimes it's very easy just to say, oh, well, it's child's play this, it's really easy or whatever. It is work at the end of the day, and there's a lot of other problems that can come in, a lot of problems that I had with Amazon FBA myself and other people have had. But at the end of the day, it can be a very, very smooth selling experience. And it is a brilliant platform. Anyway, I'm going to have to go in a minute. We're coming up to the hour. I want to go and get off on a walk before I end up getting in bed. And then it's a whole new start tomorrow. Everything going. Doing all the different things that we're doing. I'm just going to go up the chat a little bit just to see the last few comments. People pay more on Amazon for items, but you can't, or you canny be, I don't know. Anyway, you can't beat an Amazon deal, I guess that was. No, but the Amazon deals are good. Like, I have seen some crazy deals on, I'm talking like 87% off deals. You're like, what the hell is going on? 87%? Like, I swear I've seen one for like 90 odd % on there before, but I know I've definitely seen one for 87%. So you think, what the hell? Imagine that. An item that's 100 quid down to £13. That's incredible. I mean, what goes on with that? How can you even sell it for that? Right, and let me just go down a bit. Thing is, guys, if you're a good investor, you're watching your items you've picked. When it's at its lowest price, so you can take advantage. I follow items for a year until I get the best price. That's a good idea, yeah. I don't always do that. I would have to say that, to be honest, I don't always kind of watch things to like really, as in getting like a crazy good deal. Certainly what I'll do is I'll wait till things are close to retirement on a lot of sets, so that then when I'm getting it, and I will usually get it on some sort of discount, but when I'm getting it, I know that I've not got too long to wait before I end up selling it. Because the bad thing, like a real bad thing, is if you buy sets and they've only just come out, and I have done this in the past, and it's really not great because you end up waiting so much longer. You buy a set, it's just come out, and then it's at retail price for a year or 2 years. So you have to wait a year or 2 years for anything to happen, any sort of movement to happen on it. Then you have to wait another couple of years or 18 months to actually be able to sell it for a decent price. So you're waiting like 4 years. I mean, 4 years of your life is a long time compared to, let's say, 18 months or something like that, or even 12 months in some circumstances. So that's what I do. I really do try and concentrate on the before retirement, or if not, if I can't get them like just before retirement, so that then we've only got a few months left, let's say. And there's some sets that I buy that, let's say they're on a discount at the time, and I think, oh, they're on a nice discount now, I'll buy them. And they might be a little while before retirement, but I just can't leave them because they're a decent discount. So that's another thing that you kind of have a bit of a internal fight between, because you think, oh, they're on the shelf there now, they're a great discount. But you know what? I know they're not going to retire for another 6 months, or even maybe closer to 12 months, but they are a good discount. So I'm like, well, I'll buy them and I'll put them away. I know I've got the space, let's say. I'll put them away. But then, of course, you are waiting a bit longer on that set. But it's not so bad if you do that, so long as you've got enough sets in your portfolio that are maturing and that are being able to be close to being sold, or that you're getting at the point of retirement, so that then again you've not got as long to wait on them until they mature, until you think, yeah, they're at a good enough price to sell. And then of course you've got a bit of money coming through. For me, it's not too, you see, for me, I'm in a bit of a different position, because with my Lego investing, that's not the thing I rely on for cash flow. So I don't really worry too much about selling my Lego for cash flow. I don't need to worry about that. So I'm very lucky in that sense, because it means that I can just stockpile Lego. I've got the space, I've got the cash flow. I don't need to be selling my Lego just for purposes of cash flow. So that's good, because it means I don't panic sell. I don't think, oh God, I've got to be buying these new sets, and these new sets are really good and we're on these great discounts, and you know what, maybe I'll just get rid of this set or these 10 sets or whatever at this lower price. You know, I don't need to do that. So that's really good. And so it means that I can be a bit more relaxed with it. And I think, hang on, wait a second, wait a little bit longer for these sets to mature properly, and also, you know, wait for the right moments for buying these sets and for pulling the trigger and things like that. But it would be a nightmare, it really would. And I've kind of been through periods of that a bit more. But because my Lego investing's always been on the side, it's never really been like my main thing. I've always had a buffer, which means, my buffer really has been the fact that I've had my business, or the fact that I've had other investments that are more of my cash flow than the Lego. And so I don't need to worry about like getting rid of that straight away. And I think it can be kind of, you can get into that, especially like, imagine you're an 18-year-old and you're doing this investing, you've not got any money, you're ploughing this money into Lego, and then you've not got any sort of source of income, or you've got a very, very low source of income, and you've got all your money tied up in these Lego sets, and you're thinking, oh crap, and a few months goes by, and you think, I've got to get this money out of these. And so you end up selling some of them, or selling half of them, or even selling all of them, and you've sold them for hardly any. You might have only sold them for a couple of quid profit or something, when you could have got literally like 10, 15, 20 pound profit out of them if you had waited another maybe 12 months. So that's really like, the cash flow you could see, especially a younger person who hasn't built up, let's say, much of an income source or finances really, haven't got like their finances in more of a, let's say, a slightly more mature state, then that would be really bad. And I mean, myself right now, at 25, my finances aren't in a mature state at all, and I'll readily admit that. And when I'm 45, hopefully I'll be way better. I'll have all this cash flow there ready to invest in whatever. I'll have other investments set up that are giving me other passive incomes and stuff. Obviously, I've already got my dividends from stocks. I've already got my staking income from crypto that helps with recycling into either themselves in buying more, accumulating more of a stake, or putting that money into Lego or whatever it may be. But when I'm 45, I would hope that those things have built up further, barring no major setbacks. I always like to say that, I always like to say that, barring no horrible setbacks or anything. But I would, those would be bigger, and also I'd have an investment in a property, whether that's my own property or my own property and another property, and then that would be doing something for me. I'd have something there at least, and then of course I've got a bit more to play with. I've got a bit more meat on the bone to be like, well, I can have a bit of fun in it. I can really spend a good chunk of money. I can start to really pursue things in the way that I'd like to, and I'm starting to see that now slowly, and this is what I've noticed with investing. At the start of your investing career, I've been investing casually. Between the ages of 18 and 19, I was investing very little. Well, actually, I did it a bit when I was 17, but no one tell anyone that I had a share account when I was 17, okay, because you're not many. But I was 17, and I had a little bit of a share account. I'm doing it like on because you know what I'm like for business. I've always loved it. I can't keep me contained with it. I want to do these things, So but then 18 to 19, I was 17 to 19, where I was casually investing, nothing really, not much, but I was just doing a bit. Then 19, I really started, a bit more prevalently. Is prevalently a word? A little bit more in a prevalent manner, I would say. I don't think prevalently is particularly a word. But yeah, and what I found was at 19, I had these great ideas, and I had a bit of money to invest, but I couldn't see. I could see what I wanted, but I felt that it was quite far off, you know what I mean? And that's what I think a lot of young investors have. They have this kind of thing, well, I have some sort of idea of where I want to go. I mean, a lot of people don't have any idea of where we want to go. That's one problem. But, I mean, those people who, let's say, do have a bit of an idea of where their investing journey wants to go, they have an idea, and I definitely had quite a good idea at that time, but I just couldn't fully realize it and grasp it and inspect it. Now, 6 years on, I've got a more idea now. I've got a bit of money to play with. I have a bit of money coming in, and I can see how the plan I can get over the hill, if you like. So I'm at that little, just one up. I'm a few steps up now, and I can see where these ideas that I had when I was 19, how these can come into play more now, and I can really take action now. And then the action that I take now in another 6 years' time will hopefully put me on another couple of steps up. And then by the time I'm about 40, 45, as I say, I'll be there, I'll be good, I'll be really where I want to be with my investing and my financial journey and independence and all that sort of stuff. And when I say financial independence, I don't just mean what certain people mean by it. Certain people mean by financial independence, well, you're just financially independent as an entity. In the sense that, you may have a job and all the rest of it, but you pay for your own bills, you do everything yourself, you're living life in that manner. But when I say financially independent, I mean more of the entrepreneurial manner of the fact that you don't need to rely on any other bugger, no job, no boss, no nothing. You can literally live off the money that you're making actively and passively within your own business. From your own stocks, from your investments, whatever. That's my level. And when I say financial independence, I'm talking a good bit of money I'm talking a good, solid chunk of money. I wouldn't necessarily like to put a figure on it because I wouldn't know fully exactly, because I don't know what I'm capable of. I don't know what I'm not capable of, or that, I don't really know. I know that I would just keep going and see how far I can take it, and each step is a milestone. So if I was to give you a figure, I would merely be giving you a milestone figure. I wouldn't be giving you a be-all and end-all figure or anything like that, because to me there isn't a be-all. There's never been a be-all and end-all figure particularly. I have ideas of Well, of course, I always make this statement of, well, by the time I'm 60, if I'm doing my weekly shop at Waitrose or M&S, I'm good, I'm happy. And I always have this figure of, well, £50,000 a year, I'm brilliant on that. But you see, that's just a figure, as if, well, that's just something that's there. It doesn't mean to say that at that figure I'm stopping or anything like that. It's just, well, that's like my childhood figure, shall we say, of what I deem the good thing, and then what's beyond that is merely my own exuberance, shall we say, and my own ability to see what I can do. You know what I mean? Like, just to see how far I can take it and all the rest of it, and see not only that, but see how I can utilize money. Because after any sort of idea of sorting your own finances, what then becomes the task? Well, what then becomes a task is philanthropic. I can never say that word. Is it philanthropic? I think that might be right, actually. Philanthropic work, and using money as a tool to aid the world more. Because for me, what do I need? What do I need? Like, it's like ridiculous. It's like why all these a lot of them, not all of them. It's like why a lot of these billionaires give away loads of money, because it's like they know they don't need it all. They can't spend all that. So it's like, it becomes, at a certain point, it becomes philanthropic. And for me, that isn't billions, because I don't believe I'll get to billions or anything like that. I just don't. It's just not really me. I don't even see that as being like a part of my personality. I don't see me as being a billionaire, because I don't see that fitting my own demeanour and my own personality. And I feel like it would almost be contrary or opposing to my own personality if I were that. You know what I mean? But certainly I would have a figure that then I'd be like, hang on a minute, right, boys, philanthropic stuff here. This kind of stuff of setting up kind of things to help the world. Because what else do I need if I've got the particular figure that I have attained and achieved, that is the thing that I desired, and that is comfortable for me to do what I want with, you know what I mean? And then it's like, well, everything else is in excess. And so then it's not about money or anything like that. It's nothing about that anymore, is it? It's about the creativity. It's about the personality behind things. It's about the being able to help people. It's about the being able to explore talent. It's about all these other different things, all these other different values that we place on life. It's about those things. It becomes more about those things. Anyway, I said I was going to go, and I'm not even gone, have I? Which is terrible. Download Karma app. You can watch all your items. Oh, wow, nice. Okay, cool. I'll download that app, definitely, for sure. Right then. Daniel, this is the beauty of ads. Is it coming home, ads? I will not get involved with collective psychology. God damn it. Do you think I've studied Jungian psychology to start saying it's bloody coming home? Jesus, no. Bloody collective psychology. I'm not getting involved with that. God, no, I'm not getting involved with that. Anyway, Adz rambles are world class. Am I? I don't know, maybe. This is Adz. He rambles knowledge. Well, maybe it's knowledge. Maybe it's just weird crap. I don't know, do I? I've got it from somewhere, though. All my knowledge comes from somewhere. So maybe if it comes from somewhere, maybe it's come from someone good, you don't know. So, there's many, many different people in my life, and many different people I've read. That you see, what happens is I've noticed this. All of these people that you've read and that you've listened to on YouTube come through you unconsciously, and you're speaking their words, even if it's not exactly the things that they said. It's kind of relating to what they said. So I'm not really talking about what I'm solely thinking, but I'm talking about what I'm thinking based on all of the things that these other people have already said before me that I've then assimilated and then just regurgitated. So, and that's kind of what happens in every field. And it's only when you get, I think, this is just my own personal opinion, it's only when you get to about 40 or so, 45 maybe, that you start to really become, let's say, someone who can dispense knowledge that is more, I don't know, shall we say, more individual, right? And that then you become, let's say, a figure for the new generation, and then they read your books and listen to your talks or whatever, and then they start off by reciting your information in their specific ways and unconsciously as well through their chats or whatever, and they don't really, they partially know they're doing it, but we don't fully know they're doing it, and then they get to a certain age where they've overcome that and they've got more of life experience themselves to be able to dispense more individualized personal knowledge from themselves that then again goes to spur the rest. And this happens as like a big huge web of integration in every specific field. So you could say, well, in business, the new people who come through in business are looking up to these guys like Tony Robbins and Gary Vee, and these young people are preaching what Gary Vee and Tony Robbins say. And they might do it consciously in certain situations, but in other situations, they do it unconsciously just because of the fact of exposure to so much of those other people's work, that they're almost like a mini Gary Vee or a mini Tony Robbins without fully realizing the extent to which they are that. And their very personality becomes almost infected with that. But then as they mature, they get over that ideal, and then they become their own individuality, and they become more integrated, and then they realise their own statements, you see. They realise their own place in the world, and then again, that happens for the next generation, you see. So that's kind of how it works. So in all of the talks that I do on here, you'll notice in my words, in my voice, there's a little bit of Carl Jung, there's a little bit of Alan Watts, there's a little bit of Joseph Campbell, there's a little bit of Jim Rohn, there's a little bit of Jordan, well, there's quite a lot of Jordan Peterson. There's all these people who I've read. There's even like little bits of Zen in there, or Stoicism, or Taoism, things like that. All of and these kind of guys. Lao Tzu, there's a bit of Lao Tzu within me. He comes through me a bit with regards to the statements I make and stuff. So, not in this video, of course, but in other philosophy videos and things. And so I, therefore, at this age, am a distillation, kind of a union of all of these different people in the past working through me in all of the sensory knowledge that I've got from them, but I'm not really an integrated individual. I'm not really Adz yet. I'll only become Adz fully. I'll only become Adam fully as well when I'm older. And this is a part of the Jungian idea of individuation. And this is the weirdest thing, you see. I am talking about Jung's concept of individuation while I'm kind of talking about the structure of how it plays out in an individual. So I am doing it while I'm doing it in the weirdest sense possible. So I am thinking, I've got let's say I've got this image of Jung in my mind when I'm talking about this integrated system, and I am kind of being, let's say, a vessel for his ideas and talking about it like this, and what that is a part of the system that I've just talked about, which is them people coming through me rather than me being a whole, full, integrated person that has, the more kind of philosophical demeanor and individualized specialization of their own personal experience and knowledge that they bring to the table. But obviously, over enough time, I get to that, and everyone else gets to that. But you have to go through this period of like leaning, and it is a leaning on the people of the past, because the future is held upon the past. The present is held upon the past. You can't have the present without the past. The present is a representation, a point in time which is solely dependent on all of the things that went before it. And so that means that even your psychology is dependent on all of the things before it. All of the things, all of the memories that you've had, all of the different knowledge you've assimilated is exactly this present moment. And so that means that, of course, all of those things for the past have to bleed through you, have to be within you, you know. But at a young age, like myself, and certainly if, let's say, you've got someone who's like 18 or something like that, they're too disintegrated. They're not really, they're just leaning on the past, these past figures far too much. But over time, because they've got more of their own past by the time they're 45 and they're more integrated with life, they then get more of themselves, they get more of themselves within their own personality, rather than leaning on the ideas, the images that are formulated in the psyche, and the general philosophies of these people in their specific fields from the past. And what actually happens during these chats is, let's say I'm talking about philosophy and I'm talking about a specific idea. I will get the image. Now, a lot of people don't realize this because this is very, very highbrow psychology, but you'll get the image of that person in your psyche, and that image will be above you here. And it's very, very hard to see. You have to train your awareness to be able to see it. And let's say I'm talking about some sort of philosophical or psychological concept. I will have the image of Jordan Peterson here, or I'll have the image of Carl Jung here. And you will notice in my voice at certain times, I become eerily like Jordan Peterson, or I become eerily like Carl Jung or someone else or something like that. The words, the mannerisms, these kind of things come through. And that's because that's the wise old man archetype that is obviously coming through an individualized image in Jordan Peterson or Carl Jung, and then through me into my psyche, through out into my language, into my words, and of course that's a kind of a primitive psychology of my own, because it's not an individual image of the wise old man kind of individualized for my own individuation, my own personality, but rather I'm leaning on the individualized personalities of the wise old man archetype that have gone before me. So you see, it's not a whole integrated full psychology. And so this happens all the time with all of us. We talk, let's say we talk in conversation, we have a conversation with our friends, and they bring up something in science, right? And let's say this particular person is quite involved with science and we quite like it, and they're talking about science and all the rest of it, and this guy says to this guy something about a particular scientist, and then the personal associations that person has with that particular scientist come up. All of the knowledge that they understand kind of is in the background as well, in kind of the unconscious, and but that image of that scientist comes up, and then let's say that person does have a positive association with that person, they then kind of go into talking about all their philosophy and all the rest of it. But it's not only this, it's like, well, okay, so you're out with friends and you're talking about different people and you're in a particular group and you have all sorts of associations with, let's say, your mother or your father, and let's say you've had a particularly bad relationship with your mother or your father for many, many years, for 12, 15 years of your childhood. So then people start to say something in conversation and they're talking about mums and dads, parents. Immediately you get a parental imago in your psyche of your mum or your dad, or even possibly flicking between both, and that parental imago is directly relating to how constellated your relationship is with your parents. And if your relationship is negative with your parents, that imago is going to affect your behavior with those people in that conversation in possibly a negative way. If you have a mother complex, that imago in your psyche of your mum is going to obviously negatively influence the things that you say about parents in that conversation, or about your own particular upbringing in that conversation, and that is the complex kind of working with that imago in a sense. And there's a little bit more to it than this as well, but that then of course affects your behaviour in that particular circumstance, because someone says something that particularly hits upon that complex, bing, 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 suddenly, boom, you start to get angry, you start to get all the rest of it, and then that person, you go off and you all this sort of stuff, and the other person's like none the wiser to why the hell that's hit upon something, why the hell did that person get all angry or whatever at this particular thing I said, or why were they a bit moody at that particular thing they said. But actually it's the fact that that person's actually got negative association with the parental imagos, that then of course in the conversation and the topic of conversation has hit upon a negative complex with regards to that, and with regards to that archetypal form, the mother archetype, let's say, and so there we go. But quite aside from that, if you've got a positive relationship with your mother or your father or whoever it may be, then what you will get is you will get that imago come up, and it then orients, or you kind of are oriented in your behaviour, and you speak in a more kind of directed, calmer, considered manner, because that imago, and there's not really any complex there anyway, that doesn't control you. You see, it doesn't affect you at all. But in other circumstances it does. Okay, so let's do it another way. You go into a ball, you go into a dinner, okay, and there's a dress code for this ball, right? And it's pretty strict dress code. You've got to wear, some good, a nice suit and all the rest of it. And you get this imago, you get this image. By the way, imago is just Latin for image. So you get this image in your psyche, and it's of this kind of old, stern guy, right? And he's like more of a kind of a negative manifestation of the animus, or we could also say, in line with that, a negative manifestation of, let's say, the wise old man, something like that, or the father. You could also say more so like the father, but all these things kind of very, very closely related and bleed together as well, like Jung said about the archetypes bleeding together. So anyway, you get that image in your psyche, and you're none the wiser to this image really popping up, because most people aren't really very aware of themselves, so they just go about with, oh yes, I'm just going to do this, and then they get this reaction that they don't even realise is from the image. But anyway, that's another story. So you're there, you get this image in your psyche, this stern old man who you think's gonna tell you off for not coming to the ball in a nice enough outfit. So then you go to your closet and you make sure that you get dressing nicely and all the rest of it, and you're unconscious of this image. You don't realise this image particularly is controlling you in that way, but it is if you look closely. And then you go to the ball, and you're just a little bit nervous, because you might actually see someone like that at the ball. You might see some sort of old man who's quite, stern looking. But then, because obviously your expectations are always different from reality, and most of the time, you then go up to that guy, and he's a really sweet guy, and he's a lovely, nice guy. And then suddenly you're like, oh no, I had nothing to be afraid of, all this. And then that gets you a little bit more integrated with that negative imago that you had previously, and over enough time, that's what could obviously spur on unconscious individuation. With most people, it's unconscious individuation, not conscious individuation. So therefore, you get to that, and so that's how it plays out. You see, and that's how the psyche plays out in everyone. All these little images that people have that are based on all of their sense experiences and personal associations over their entire life, that integrate all different people over all of causality through the entirety of the world, all at the present moment happening together. It's incredible. It's genius. Jung was absolutely genius. He saw everything. He saw like the entirety of causality. It's marvelous, and so we have these associations with the anima and the animus and all this. So okay, so we try this again. Let's try this again. So you've got a meeting with a girl at, I don't know, you've got a meeting with a girl at 7 p.m. and you're really excited for this meeting with the girl, and you have this image of the girl who's a personalized representation of the anima. It's a personalized image of the anima for you. You have an anima projection on her, and her image is in your psyche, in the semi-conscious, and you want to get dressed up, so you're getting all lovely and dressed up, and you're doing your shaving, and that image is controlling your behavior. You've not even met the girl, you've not met the girl, she's not there, she's not kind of right in your vicinity telling you what to do, but that image in your psyche of her is telling you what to do. It's saying, I need to look good for that girl, isn't she beautiful, all that. Anyway, you might be quite conscious of that one. That one's can be quite more of a conscious image, or it can be actually more unconscious. But anyway, you go to your bloody washing place, and you're shaving, and you're doing all this, and you're getting all, I want to, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get this girl over. Anyway, so then that's directed your entire behavior, and then when you're with her, you're a bit nervous, and you're like, oh god, I hope she likes me, and it's your own anima playing on you, it's your own anima kind of divulging this situation, and she's of course got an animus projection on you most likely, so of course the fact that she's going to be throwing all these other ideas at you, and she's going to be nervous and all this, and so it's genius. It's like it's brilliant, but so it's like that's what it is, that's what it is. But people don't see it. They don't see it because I don't know why actually, but because it's not like people aren't intelligent. A lot of people who are very, very, very intelligent out there. There's a lot of people who are very intelligent out there, but people can't see it. And maybe it's because it's quite apart from being very intelligent. It's not about that. It's not about being a very intelligent concept. This isn't a very intelligent concept. This is a very simple concept. And so you think, well, if it's a very simple concept, maybe that's the reason people haven't seen it. Because, wasn't it Einstein who said something about genius being in the simple, or whatever it is? I don't know. So it's some great guy has said something about genius being able to spot genius in simple things and things like that. And so, maybe that's the reason people haven't actually thought about it. But all of these images, they affect us. You see, like, this is another good one. You go to, so there's this kid, 16-year-old kid, right, and he's going to do some spray painting, right, on this, under a bridge, and he's going to write this bloody bad word under this bridge, and he's getting all excited about it, because it's like, yeah, I'm being rebellious, and all this sort of stuff, and he's very much in the shadow side of his own animus, in a sense, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be rebellious, all this, and, so then he goes and he spray paints this bad word, and he's all lovely, he spray paints it all lovely on the book, but then, just as he's finishing, he hears a rustle in the bushes, and immediately this image of a policeman comes into his mind, and immediately his heart starts going. And you see what that image has done as well? That image has come up, and it's changed the physiological response in his body. It's changed his physical body. It's changed the responses in the physical world because of just that image. Not because of an external policeman, but because of an internal image in his own psyche. There isn't an external policeman there. In fact, as it happens, something comes out the bushes, and it's just a dog or a little rabbit or whatever it may be. But he had the image of a policeman. He thought it was a policeman. He was convinced it was a policeman. Maybe it's just a guy walking a dog. But it's a policeman in his mind, and so he gets all these, heart palpitations, or whatever. Oh God, oh God, and that image, that single image of the policeman, the ruler, you would say the ruler as well. There is has changed his behaviour, and he's run off. He's run off before, maybe even before the guy came out of the bushes. He's run off because he can't hack it. You see, so. And the image changes the physiological. Now, okay, all right, I get it, because some people will say, well, Adam, that's not actually true, because the image, you could also argue, comes up as completely at the same time as the physiological response. So maybe, okay, the image comes up at the same time as the physiological response. But I mean, that doesn't really mean to say anything. I mean, you can't argue either way then, can you? Whether one causes the other, but still the image is present and still the response is present. And so we could still at least correlate the two. And even in this way of thinking, with regards to the image of the policeman and the rustle in the bushes and all the rest of it, these are all things that are, we would say, causally related. Now, from a scientific viewpoint, there's not really any way you can do an objective experiment on that to be able to 100% conclusively prove that the rustle in the bushes produced the image of the policeman, which then, obviously, as a causal chain, went to produce the physiological response. But let's be honest with ourselves. We all know that's very, very likely the case. We all know that that's very, very likely what happened. Rustle in the bushes, he thinks it's a policeman, image comes in the mind, physiological response from the image of the policeman and from the rustle in the bushes. Physiological response is from both the rustle in the bushes and the image of the policeman right through him, you see, because the image of the policeman did actually come up as a phenomenon. So, but, I'll take very much a counter-argument to the fact that, well, actually, the image of the policeman wasn't involved, and maybe it was just the rustle in the bushes, but then we have to explain, don't we, why there was an image of a policeman there. And can we explain that? We can only explain it in terms of causality and in terms of a physiological response and in terms of the entire situation. Really in terms of the entire situation. So if you're going to make me that argument, which is a good argument, and I will grant you that argument, because I'm not ever going to say, someone shouldn't have an argument towards this, because there should be many, many arguments placed on these things, because we have to question these things. We have to go deep into them. We have to say, no, this is wrong. What you're telling me is wrong, Adam. What you're telling me is wrong. This isn't right. No, I disagree with you. There's something here. And I would say, well, yeah, of course, let's disagree, because that means that we've got something. We can get somewhere, we can think about something. Instead of just producing some sort of dogma on the bloody thing that's like, well, yes, that's how it is. Well, we don't know. But the fact is that it's very likely that situation is how it is in that sense, and that the image is responsible to a lesser or greater degree for the things, or parts, shall we say, part and parcel of the situation. Not really responsible for the things, but is part and parcel of the situation, you see. And so there we go, and that's the image, and that's the archetype. That's the personalized individual representation of the archetypal form. The archetypal form can never be known, but the individualized image that is based off the personal experience of that individual's brain and sense perceptions and memories and all the rest of it is therefore that is an individualized image of that, and it is of course from an archetype specifically, an archetype being instinctual, coming from an instinct, coming from a first experience. Archetypus in Greek, the Greek word for archetype, archetypus, and I'm not pronouncing that right, by the way. I believe it means begin type. That's almost literally how it translates, begin type or first type, and it literally means the first type of something, the beginning of something, the fundamental beginnings of something, and that's the archetypal form. That's the archetype, and that's the form, and that's the kind of patterning of the archetype, but it can never be known fully. The archetype can never be known fully because we can only see its manifestation through the particular image that it produces in the psyche. And the pattern can be known somewhat, but it can never be fully known. We can never know fully what that thing is. We can only see the individual manifestation of that collective idea. We all have that particular experience and potentiality for that experience because that's an instinctual experience. If you put anyone with a spray paint of a can of something that by wherever, and then you introduced a stimulus that was negative for them, then they would get a particular archetypal association, which is in line with a certain experience, shall we say. and and so we get those kind of collective responses, but they're always individual in manifestation because of the individual's specific patterning, their specific memories, etc., their specific images that they have to call upon. And so it's problematic because you can never get to the full source of what it is, you know. Anyway, so I'll leave it there. So, how we perceive our experiences with our parents shape how we view the world later in life. Got it. Yes. Yes and no. Yes, that's right. But more that, our reactions. They shape our reactions as well. That's the main thing, that our relationships with our parents can shape our future reactions with people quite unconsciously. But yes, definitely that as well, that we perceive our experiences, we view the world in a certain way because of our parents, and if we don't unconstellate that, if we don't kind of address that and understand that, then of course we end up continuing having negative associations with that. So yeah, that is a big part of it, of course. Anyway, I will leave it there. Adz is quite brilliant at 25, I think. Impressive knowledge and entertaining rambles. I don't, God knows what I'm like at 25. God knows who I am. I don't know. I haven't a clue. I'm just like, only Adz can go from Carl Jung to dating attractive. I think that's quite an easy jump, actually, but okay. I don't know. God knows I am. There's too much in my mind to even categorize some sort of idea of who I am or what sort of personality I possess, because as Jung was very obvious to point out, if a young person goes into the unconscious too early, their entire personality becomes disintegrated and becomes fragmented into various different selective parts, shall we say, that isn't necessarily a whole personality. And so the problem with doing something like I've done at 25, which is going into the unconscious and analysing my dreams, analysing the world in such an empirical and very, very introspective manner, is that it messes up your conception of who you are. And Jung was, as I say, very, very piercingly aware of that, and he knew that when you're young, it's a bad experience. It can be a very, very bad experience psychologically to fragment the personality in that way from having an experience, a dream experience, well, not dream experience, but multiple experiences of the unconscious at that age. Your personality is too shadowy. It's too, not shadowy in an evil sense, but I mean it's too unconscious of itself. When you're older, when you're 40, 45, you have more consciousness of who you are because you've had more experience. Whereas when you're 20, 15, 25, you've not really had enough experience to really ground who you are in a cemented psychological whole. You can't really fully have knowledge of, I'm this solid personality, right? I am this solid personality. So what happens is, if you have very bad experiences that even like with, not even just with the unconscious in terms of going into dreams and looking into yourself and kind of the natural fragmentation in a sense that comes with that of the personality. But even if let's say you have a psychosis, or you have a neurosis, depression, anxiety, things like that, that can pull the personality apart and make people unaware of certain ways in which they naturally are, so it's very, very, very dangerous. That's the danger with Jungian psychology. Now, I've always been a very weird and eccentric and foolish person. And so Jungian psychology was perfect for me, because I was all like, yeah, I'm going to go into my dreams and I'm going to explore this. But you've got to be very, very, very careful of Jungian psychology. And I would say that if anyone's going to do it, how do I even make a rough guide of what someone would do if they're going into Jungian psychology? You try and do it in a way that you can handle, maybe try and get someone around you who's maybe been through it or whatever. I don't know. Just so that then you can orient yourself and you can get back. You can get back through all the dreams and the images and all the stuff that you have in your mind to some sort of whole personality and reality, and even reality. Anyway, I'll leave it there. We would not have the art of Van Gogh. If everyone solved these issues, we would not have the art of Van Gogh. No, indeed, that's a great point, Buying Space. That is a great point. I agree with that very much, actually. And that is a very philosophically interesting point. That, well, do we have the right to solve these issues when they can produce such brilliance, you know, in terms of art, in terms of culture, etc. But then we also come back to this idea of, well, these are people we're talking about, and then you know, so it's kind of like, what would be the ultimate what would be the ultimate idealism would be that everyone can produce these brilliant works without having to have any pain in their life. The fact is that people do have pain, and that does actually sometimes cause them to gain determination and will and motivation to be able to produce something of worth and of brilliance. So that the ultimate would be just not to have the pain involved. But then maybe shall we say, even if we can say in this circumstance, because it's kind of not very nice to say, but the happy medium in a sense would be that people have a bit of pain with regards to those things, but then be able to create these brilliant works, but not have to suffer their entire life, like so many people do. Like so many people just suffer their entire life, and they produce brilliant works of creativity and all the rest of it. But I mean, their life has been hell. Like, their life has been hell, but the things they give to humanity is incredible. But their life has just been, like, from a personal standpoint, it's just been horrific, you know. So if we could get some balance with that, at least, like, that would be brilliant. But anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, it's dark. It's going to be dark. Yeah, I know it's going to be bloody dark. It's ridiculous. That's what makes you interesting, Adz. Your wide range of knowledge, not be totally focused yet, but you're still exploring. Definitely not bloody focused. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. God damn it, it's like, boom. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Does the ends justify the means? See, that's a very, very tricky question for me. I can't answer that right now. I can't answer it fully, because that's too much of a deep question, Matt. Because you say, well, yeah, of course, you know, it doesn't justify the means. You know, the ends never justify the means. But can we state that with a surety? Are there not situations where the ends does justify the means? Are there not? You know, I think there possibly are, but there certainly are many, many situations where the ends doesn't justify the means. So what are you going to bloody say? Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We had a good few in tonight. I think we had 18 and 19 at the tops. So we'll be back here next week at 7 o'clock. So be here. I will be probably putting some promotions out and all the rest of it to see if we can't get a few people in as well. And I will see you next week. And I will also see you in a video that I'll be doing in a couple of days' time, one of the Lego investing ones. So yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you very soon. Diddly-did, 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 boo.